Is there a secret tool to breathwork? Yes, it's intermittent hypoxic training, or in Sanskrit, it's called Nashisha Rashaka Kumbhaka. Now, I'm very against the idea of a one-size-fits-all approach or one thing that works for everyone, because it's just not true. But this one method is going to positively impact your life on such a grand scale. And allow me to explain why. So when you remove all the air from your lungs and you hold your breath out, you're going to go into hypoxia. And this is a brief period of less or lower oxygen. Okay? So when you lower oxygen levels by holding your breath out, you're going to start to build up carbon dioxide. And when you build up carbon dioxide, then it creates what's called the Bohr effect. And the Bohr effect is how that increase in CO2 is going to trigger the release of oxygen that is bound to your red blood cell and allow it to go into your muscles and tissue cells. Okay? So this is oxygen utilization. You have trillions of cells and all of them need oxygen to survive. And what we're doing is we're breathing in all this oxygen, but it stays bound to a red blood cell due to our shallow or fast breathing patterns, because our breath is going to be subservient to our external environment. And the environments that we live in nowadays are high stress, intense jobs, and toxic relationships and social conditioning, so on and so forth. So we're in a constant state of contraction, which triggers our ventilation, our breath to increase. We breathe out all the carbon dioxide, we flood ourselves with oxygen, and oxygen equals contraction. Okay? So it's really important that you learn how to utilize oxygen in your body. So instead of breathing in all the oxygen and not getting it to our tissue cells, which if they don't have proper oxygen, they'll start to die and wither away. This is how we age, get into fatigue, and it can even lead to disease. So when you use intermittent hypoxic training, you move that oxygen to those cells. This is so incredibly important. Now, the other thing about this is that when you hold your breath out and you lower oxygen levels, well, what other environments have less or lower oxygen? High altitude. And I'm sure you've heard about athletes or shamans, yogis going into the high elevations and being so young for so long and being so healthy, having so much energy. It's because they're in a low oxygen environment. Oxygen is the silent killer, but it's also the thing that's going to make you reach in heightened states and peak performance if used correctly. So if there is one thing that you should focus on doing, it's doing intermittent hypoxic training. It's a breathwork formation where you remove all the air from your lungs and you hold your breath out for as long as you possibly can. You override the urge to breathe. And the more you train in this, the more you strengthen your nervous system, you dilate your blood vessels, okay? And you start to produce energy more effectively and efficiently. This is going to increase your metabolic rate, your metabolism, and it's going to keep your mitochondria healthy. And when your mitochondria start to die out, this is when you get gray hair and you get wrinkles in your skin. So if you want to be healthy, happy, and live a long life, then holding your breath out using Nashisha Rashaka Kumbhaka, breath retention, this is the key to increasing your health, the way your brain works, and all of the other internal systems in your body. Okay? So this is the key. This is something I teach a lot of in my one-on-one coaching, in my 11-day energy to action. This is the secret tool. Now, one thing is that this is not good for absolutely everyone. There are a few circumstances that you should not use this. Like if you're pregnant, you have COPD, epilepsy, recent surgery, or a heart condition, chronic high blood pressure. These are circumstances that you should refrain from breath retentions and use other forms of pranayama to then strengthen your body, strengthen your nervous system, and hopefully you'll be able to get into that breath retention later on. Okay? So it's all about understanding where you're at, where your mind and body are at, and meeting yourself in that place and then helping yourself to move forward. Okay? So you can check out more information on my social channels or on my website, and I hope you guys now understand that if there's one tool you should focus on, this is the key. All right? So my heart's yours. Remember, breathe smarter, not harder.